Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
On Fox, the last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai.
Fox 26's Domely Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domely.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tiara Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
This website warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates. Now, after Baxter says her daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai, her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Domely Keith, Fox 26 News.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. All blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, our Lord and our Savior, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and salutations to the elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. My name is Amawan Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson, Lord willing, is quick, edifying, straight and to the point. And as you see in the intro of this video, you got this woman out here. That's her right here on the screen. She was detained, as you heard, was detained. She was locked up. Her passport was taken from her for yelling in public. There was an incident that occurred, as you heard it. I'm just repeating what was said. But it was an incident that occurred where she was yelling back at a man concerning something, that was going on. She had to pay a fee or something like that. And pretty much she got locked up for yelling in public. And as you heard, one of the news reporters, or one of the where's he at? One of the activist dudes, or this guy right here, he said, these women are not allowed to yell or raise their voice or something along those lines out in places such as Dubai. They're not allowed to yell. Now, this other woman said, where's she at? I think it was her that said the dude yelled at her, so she yelled back. But let's be real. Let's be honest within ourselves here, right? We wasn't there, so, you know, we just going based off of what was said. But let's be honest within ourselves. Who you think initiated the argument, the yelling? Let's be real. We know the ratchetness of the BW here in Babylon the Great. We know the ratchetness, bro. They yell for no reason, bitter for no reason, angry for no reason. And I'm talking about the majority. Now, be honest with yourself, and who do you think, just looking at Keisha in the hood, just roundabout, who do you think started the shit? You know what I'm saying? You simply look at Keisha, you just look at her, and she cutting her eyes at you. And I'm talking about the majority. There's a very, very small exception that are not like that, but that's a very small exception. But for the most part, the loud BW, always talking shit, ratchet, always gotta twerk. Always gotta twerk. She'll slap somebody, win a fight, and then it's on camera, she just gotta twerk. Like I seen a video. You had a chick that ran up in McDonald's through the drive-through window. When I think because she didn't get her sauce or fries or something, but it was very stupid and minute. So she went up in there, caused havoc, got what she wanted, took it, and as she was crawling back through the drive-through window, she had to end it with a twerk. And this is the average state. This is the state of the majority of the BW here in Babylon. That's why we say the majority of the BW. You should know what BW is. All right? The majority of the BW, aka the black woman here in Babylon, is just not going to make it. And they're just not going to make it. So I say all that to say this. Who do you think? And just go watch the video with her riding on a speedboat. You could tell the type of spirit she's coming. All right? Lost in the sauce type of spirit. So I already know in my spirit, just judging, who initiated the whole argument. So like this lady said, he yelled at her first, which I highly doubt that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, she yelled back. And let's say he did yell at her first. In that country, a woman ain't supposed to yell back. Right? She's supposed to be in subjection, in obedience under the man. And that's just how it is in these Middle Eastern countries, Dubai and Arabia, Saudi Arabia, and all these other places, right? Or that's how it should be, or that's how it was, right? So I use this video just to show you how these other nations get down, all right? How they get down and how they view their women, which in all actuality, there's nothing wrong with that. A woman is not supposed to be yelling at a man, whether it's her man or a man in public. And that's how it should be. So the reason why, I'm doing this lesson through the spirit is based off of an account that took place in the book of Esther, the first chapter, which I'm going to get that. And I'm going to read it. And this was pretty much a heathen king who stomped feminism out, in the beginning. Pretty much like a situation occurred, a woman rebelled for whatever reason it might have been, whatever was going on in her mind or whatever the situation was. She rebelled against his orders. Regardless of if it was just or unjust, she rebelled against it. And these are heathen women, heathen people. All right, she rebelled against it, and he made a decree, and then he pretty much stomped feminism out. And as we know, every other nation besides Babylon the Great, Esau, all right, were against the whole fem movement. But that's part of why the nations are going to be mad at the wrath of, or they're going to be wroth because of her fornication that she pushed on them. All right, the wine that she pushed on them gave them to drink. That's part of the reason. So without further ado, I'm gonna go to that precept, the chapter in the book of Esther. In the book of Esther, I'm gonna read it and get a few more precepts, And I might get this one article that I read on it, and another article about this whole femme movement, and then that'll be that. Because the femme movement is coming to an end. All right, it's coming to an end real soon, and it's really gonna end when Yaikwab's trouble break out. When Jacob's trouble break out, that's when the femme movement is going to totally just be abolished. And it's not going to take paperwork to abolish that type of movement. It's going to be actual events that's going to be taking place on the planet Earth that's going to abolish that whole movement. And I can't wait, because Keisha and them up in the hood and just round the way, they going to get it. And they going to feel real stupid. That's why the scripture says, she that is my enemy shall see it. And the majority, like I'm saying, the majority, because a very small few exception to the rules, which is very rare, but they out there. You know, they out there, and some of them are you sisters that are truly sincere and truly trying your best and have repented and turned over a new leaf, so to speak, and you change that ways. You change them ways. All right, you ain't playing by your mama's rules, but you playing by the rules of the Heavenly Father, which is how it should be done, with all silence, subjection, you know, and obedience under your husband and under the man, you know. So anyway, let me read this. It's about 22 chapters, 22 verses. So I'm gonna read through it and just touch on the point. All right. So it says, now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces. And this Ahasuerus will be Xerxes the first. All right, Xerxes the first, king of Persia. And this is the same Xerxes that you know, you see the movie 300. That's the Xerxes, all right? Or Ahasuerus, okay? Which is another way of saying it, or another name. But it's Xerxes the first. So it says that in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him. When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom, and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. And even in the movie 300, they showed you how rich Xerxes was, how abundant he was in riches, and how flamboyant he was with it, and how he was just showboating his riches. Verse 5 says, and when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace, where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple to silver rings, and pillars of marbles. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse from one from another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house, that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Also Vashti, the queen, made a feast. All right, the king's wife, the queen, she made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Ahasuerus, aka Xerxes. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehumman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcas, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. And I'm going to pause it there for a second. I got 10 more verses, but I'm going to pause there for a second. Now, this king, being married, it was festive, blah, 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 whatever. And remind you, these are not Israelites. These are heathen kings. This is a heathen. All right, and these are heathens. So anyway, the king wanted his wife, his queen, to come rocking her crown so people could see her beauty, right? So people could see her beauty. Now, I stopped there because I was reading something else where they took this from a feminism standpoint to say that the queen refused to come because the king wanted her to just come butt naked, wearing just a crown on her head, which I personally doubt that. You know, I doubt that. I doubt that that was the case because it didn't say nothing. It didn't even say that. He just wanted her to come to wear the crown to see her beauty. Now, hypothetically speaking, that was the case. All right, these are heathens. Okay, these are heathens. Now, like I said, I doubt that because jealousy is the rage of a man. That's number one. And I don't care what nation of man you are or these people are, jealousy is the rage of a man. There's all these nations, we've seen accounts. Matter of fact, brothers, we was watching a video today. Brothers sent in the chat. It was Edomites. All right, an Edomite dude killed another Edomite dude in front of his girl. Because apparently from what it seems to have happened, the dude's woman was cheating on the man. So the man rolled up and caught them somewhere in front of a cafe and shot the dude. And the woman was like, she was tripping, bugging out. The dude that she was having an affair with was on the floor laid out, and she was tending to his needs like, oh my God, you know, you shot my lover, my private lover, right? So the dude that shot him, Edomites, right? The dude that shot him was pacing up and down. He tried to shoot him again, and she's losing her mind. So the dude that shot him turned around, turned the gun on himself, and shot himself. Right? So it was a murder-suicide. And the girl was tripping. And with all that being said, the nigga that killed himself, she didn't even look at him after he popped himself. She went right back to her private lover, her secret lover, and was more remorseful for him than the dude she cheated on the nigga with. So I say that to say that jealousy is the rage of a man. And I doubt that this king would have showcased his wife butt naked with just a crown on. If anything, you get drunk and get more passionate and more jealous over your wife. You know? Like a lot of dudes will have to get drunk and, you know, liquid courage, so to speak. So they see their wife doing something, then they have the balls to go and execute judgment. You know? But that's, you know, that's my, you know, take on it, because let me hold on one second. Let me go to this thing, because of course a feminist would write something like that. And let me see where I can go to it. It's over here in this article, which I ain't trying to read this whole thing, because that's what they say. Right? That the king wanted her to go and showcase herself naked. That's why she refused, and she was a hero. And they try to say that Esther was more so the one that had no morals. Some bullshit like that. But, you know, that's what they say. And let's hypothetically speak, like I'm saying. If that was the case, these are heathens. And she ain't follow her heathen husband or a heathen king's order. So she still went off. In their eyes. In their heathenistic culture, she went off. Right? Now we know in our culture, and now according to our law, that a man is not supposed to look at another man's woman to behold her beauty. Neither is he supposed to sit with another man's wife. All right? Now in the kingdom, right? Are these other nations going to follow our law, statute, commandment? Hell yeah, they are. So no heathen is going to be showcasing their wife and their, you know, whatever, naked or whatever the case may be. You know? So I just wanted to put that out there. That they saying that Vashti, let me see if it got it right here. I think it's right here. Let me see. In text B, it says right here, the text does not say exactly how she is told to appear, only that she is to wear her royal crown. It didn't say only wear your royal crown. It says, but to have you know, it told her to wear her royal crown, right? It says to bring Vashti the queen before the king. And I'm just bringing this out to prove a point. It says to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown. Not only with the crown, but with the crown. To shew the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. All right, it ain't nowhere it says to appear naked. Right? No man's gonna get drunk and tell his woman, yeah, come out naked and let me show everybody. No, that's stupid. You know, heathen or not, that just don't make any sense. You know? That don't make any sense. Because if you imagine you drunk and you having a merry old time and your wife just pop up naked, bro, that drunkenness is gonna increase your rage and it's gonna have you kill. And anybody that look at her, you gonna want to kill them too. So, as from a man's perspective, I doubt that was the case. You know, and they just putting this in there to push that feminism shit. So anyway, it says, but given the king's drunkenness and the fact that all his male guests are likewise intoxicated, the assumption has often been that Vashti was commanded to show herself in the nude, wearing only her crown. Vashti receives a summon while she is hosting a banquet for the women of the court and refuses to comply. Her refusal, hold on. It says her refusal, what the hell? It says, hold on, Salakia, I think I lost it. It says, her refusal is yet a clue to the nature of the king's command. It does not make sense that she would risk disobeying a royal decree if Ahasuerus had only asked her to show her face. Well, these are heathens. These are rebellious heathens. And another thing that proved that she was just being out of order is what happens afterwards when you read the story. So reading on, it says, but the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. Remember, these are the same heathens to this day that are fully about enforcing a woman staying in her place, right? Hence the reason why I put that video out there in Dubai. These people, these nations, they require their women to be fully dressed, fully covered. You know? Matter of fact, shit, you know, the married one, they cover for the only thing you can see is their eyes. You know? Amongst the, Ishmael and them. Elam practices the same thing, which these were Elamites we're speaking about right now. All right? They were Persians, which the Persians are Elamites. All right? So yeah, these are Elam that we talking about. Today, East Indians, these are them. You know, and their women, they dress fully clothed. You watch them, like them Bollywood movies, they fully dressed until they started drinking the wine and they started going out there dressing, more provocative, so to speak. So reading on, it says, verse 14, and the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, Edmatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsana, and Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Because she had not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlain. And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. Let me read that part again. For this deed, what deed? Rebelliousness. All right, rebelliousness. Now again, like I'm saying, I'm emphasizing, if that was the case, which I doubt it, but if that was the case that she refused because he wanted to just come out ass naked with just a crown on, she still rebelled against the king commandment. Whatever commandments they got, whatever gods they serve, that's them. But in the kingdom, they're going to have to serve our power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and keep our commandments. We're not to do like the heathens. So that's just to put that out there. She still rebelled against the king's commandment, which I doubt that's what the commandment was, to come out ass naked with just a crown on your head. You know, whether he was like, hey, check out my beautiful wife, whatever, and just, come through real quick, show your face, let the people see you real quick. Whatever. That's their business. But she refused, right? So, For this deed, which is the deed of rebelliousness, right? For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. So they recognized that this form of rebellion, all right, this form of rebellion was spread throughout the kingdoms. A word, the queen rebelled against the king. Word, shit. If the queen could do that to the king, then I don't gotta listen to my man. And I'm speaking, just putting it in layman's terms, but that's the mindset of a woman, Monkey see, monkey do. Follow the leader. All right? Follow the leader. So these men recognize, this something gotta happen, because if this spread abroad, then there's gonna be a problem. So we gotta fix this and add consequences to this action before this thing spread like wildfire, right? So reading on, it says, likewise, let me highlight these real quick. And this is just to paint the picture of the femme movement, right? And how it must be stopped, and it will be stopped. It says, likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, we have heard of the deed of the queen, that thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. So she got replaced, and she is going to get replaced. All right, it says, and when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both great and small, which this right here is an honorable thing. This is how it should be. All right, which is why, in my opinion, personally, regardless of what that article said, the king, I don't think, he ain't saying, listen, come out ass nigga with just your crown. Heathens could do with what they do. Heathens do what heathens do. You got heathens with some weird ass cultures, ham in them. They be out there butt naked, at weddings and, festivals and shit. So it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm just saying, I highly doubt that this is the case. All right. And regardless of if or whatnot or whatever, what came out of it was an honorable thing. All right, what came out of it was virtue at the end of the day, even from a heathen king. Okay, it says, and when the king's decree, which he and also too, which shows that even amongst these heathens, they never sat right with Esau and his wine and his philosophy and all this other shit. They weren't with it. But being that Esau being the ham of the earth, he pushed that on these other nations. And the last thing you want as a man, as a kingdom, as a nation of men, is your woman being equal to you or even above you. That's even worse. You know what I'm saying? That's even worse, because what's going to come of it is nothing but destruction, disaster, rebelliousness. Just take a look at Babylon. This is the result of women ruling over men, women being equal to men. And all that's coming to an end. That's the picture that I'm trying to paint in this lesson, Lord willing. It says, and when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both small and great. So it doesn't matter whether you're a wife of the king, of a certain rank, whether even if you're poor, you gotta honor your husband. That's what it's saying. It says, and the same pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. It says, for he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. And that's how it should be. Does it sound like something Esau would do? Hell no. All right, so this is something that the heathens been practicing for the most part. All right, I'm gonna say for the most part, because these heathens are weird as hell, and they practice their own laws, customs. But according to nature, it's only right that a man should bear rule over his own house. And Esau, what he did was Isaiah 29 and 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right? So Esau turned everything upside down. What was supposed to be right, he turned upside down. What was right side up, he turned upside down. So a woman being under the man, he turned it upside down and put the woman over the man. All right? And it all comes by the way of this movement. All right? This femme movement. So what's going to happen is surely a turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? That's Esau's mentality. All right? That's Esau's mentality. And that's his nature. Perverse. All right? Upside down. Okay? He's contrary to the Lord. There's no light in him. You know, he's just the devil. Okay? So you got a perfect example. The BW goes over to Dubai and she's yelling at a man, regardless of who started yelling first. If the man yelled first in his country, you know what? He's right. All right. If he said, listen, you got to pay a fee, and she's like, what? I ain't paying no fee. Da da da. He's like, listen, woman, you gonna pay a fee? Who you talking to? And she's like, she come back, nigga, who you talking to? Da da da. You know, you don't take that shit in no other country. You see, and now that's why these other countries got order. Because of the penalty for these exact actions. All right? And for the countries that still practice that, good for them. And the countries that don't, and they gave up them rights for that greenbacks and stacks and for Esau pushing that wine down their throat, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad about it. Well, how you know they're gonna be mad? The scriptures say that. I was gonna get this later, but let me just get it now. Because it's straight into the point. Revelation 14:8. And this is the destruction of Babylon the Great. It says, verse 14:8. It says, and it followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. That great city, which is talking about America. America's Babylon the Great. Okay, this is that great city. And it's gonna fall. It's falling right now, financially, economically, and the Lord is plucking this place apart. All right, he's plucking it apart. Okay, it's ready to collapse. But it's gonna fall greatly when the nukes hit this place. And who's going to nuke it? These other nations. So it says, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay? That's why it's going to get destroyed. Now, matter of fact, let me go to this right here in the NLT. It says, verse 8, then another angel followed him through the sky, shouting, Babylon is fallen, that great city is fallen, because she made all the nations of the world drink the wine of her passionate immorality. So that's part of the wine. Esau's immoral ways of living, his immoral standards. It is immoral to have a woman rule over you. It is immoral to have a woman slapping you up, giving you orders, telling you, nigga, you ain't shit, raising her voice at you, not obeying your orders, your commands, or whatever the case it may be. That's all immoral. Having women equal to you is immoral. Okay? Having them over you is immoral. All right? So, Esau made the world drink of the wine of her passionate immorality. They ain't just saying immorality, but passionate immorality. Esau is passionate about turning this place upside down. All right? Now, let me get this other article before I forget. So this is just this. I mean, all these nations, these heathen, they extrapolate and they say, oh, maybe because of this, maybe because of that. Nah, I doubt that. You know, and I would more so say in his feeling nice, he's proud of what he did and all of this and his riches. You're like, yo, say what's up to my wife, whatever. Even though Jake, we ain't supposed to be. See, brothers, we don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your wife is your wife. That's for your eyes to see. And that's that. That's that. Your brothers don't be like, hey, come on, yo, Akim, come meet my wife. Look at her, she's beautiful, ain't she? We don't do that shit. Fuck that. That's some heathen shit. So if that's what the heathens is doing, let them do that. They ain't got no moral standards anyway. But like I said, I doubt that was the case. And one thing I do know about looking at these other nations and their culture, they're very possessive, protective, and just all these other words I could use over their wives, because the scripture say he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. All right, you get a wife, you get a possession. She belongs to you now. Okay, and these nations, they really carry that through. They really practice that, and that's from just outside looking in. They in more order than the so-called BW. All right, the women of the tribes, they in more order than them. All right, but what the Lord is doing now, he's restoring order back to his nation, back to the nation. And it starts with the men. And there's certain women out there that are falling in line. You know, and good for you. Keep it up. All right, keep it all the way up. Because when the society crashes and crumbles, the scriptures say, she that has my enemy shall see, and shame is going to cover her monkey ass. You know? That said, where's the Lord thy God? Nigga, you ain't shit. The Lord ain't dealing with you. Blah, 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 whatever. I could go on for days, but I'm not. So let me get this real quick. And I didn't read this whole thing, but there were certain bulletins that stood out the most. It said, this is from the Council of Europe portal, and it says Gender Matters. Feminism and women's rights movement. So let me get the highlighted parts. It says, it is true that in some areas and on certain issues there have been improvements. For example, in Saudi Arabia, women are allowed for the first time to vote and run for office in 2015. That's off. Who pushed that? Who you think pushed that? Who you think pushed that? Babylon the Great. All right, the whole ham of the whole earth. Who's behind Babylon the Great? Esau. All right, the elites. Because this right here will destroy a country. All right, you want to destroy a country, just have a woman equal to your ass. Or matter of fact, better yet, put her over you. Okay? It says, however, on other issues, there have been little to no progress. For example, there have been insignificant reduction in cases of violence against women. All right, let me get some more bulletins. It says, in general, feminism can be seen as a movement to put an end to sexism. And they throw these words out there to attack women's emotions and the simple niggas and people and male in general, their emotions. Because these niggas out here, they cater to women. So whatever is going to make them feel good, they all for it. And that's not a king. That's not somebody that should be sitting on a throne. That's not somebody that should be ruling. All right? That's why in Ezra, was it first Ezra? It says, Zerubbabel said, he said the strongest is women and wine. Women in truth. Women in truth, but the truth being strongest of them all. Okay? So it says, the women's movement is made up of men who work to fight against, I ain't finished this one. It says, in general, feminism can be seen as a movement to put an end to sexism, sexist exploitation, and oppression to achieve full gender equality in law and in practices. Now, what's oppressive about being a housewife? That's the question. In society, Esau fucked that up too, because now it's so hard for just one income is tough. So now the man and Esau set that up. Not back in the day, you know, I wasn't around back in the day in the time I'm talking about, but my father's times, my mother was a housewife. You know, I mean, brothers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Mothers if you grew up with both parents, your mother was more likely a housewife. 60, 50, 60, 70s, housewives. But Esau fucked that up. You know, he gave women the ability to work, which that was all a money racketeering system anyway, for more tax revenue. All right, more workers, more tax, more money in Esau's pockets, right? So, along with destroying the household, putting her out there in the workforce, you know, showing you know, letting her think that she could do just as much as you can, like that poster with the woman with the bandana, Edomite woman with the bandana flexing the muscle. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, with the curly hair, flexing a muscle, a bicep, doing a front bicep pose. Man, but anyway, it says an oppression. So what in the hell is oppressive about being a housewife? You know, if things could go back, brother, you know, we can make money ends meet, and without having a combined income to make shit work, these women would still be housewives, man. But like I said, Esau fucked that up. So it says, and to achieve full gender equality in law and practices. So anyway, it says, another highlight says, the women's movement is made up of women and men who work and fight to achieve gender equality and to improve the lives of women as a social group. Look at what happens when these women have social freedom, so to speak. You know, scripture say, give not a woman water passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad. You know, because she needs to be led. She has to be led, and she has to be led by righteousness. Okay? You leave her lead herself, it's like leaving a child to lead themselves. They don't know what the fuck they're getting themselves involved in. All right, and that's just straight cold facts and truth. I don't give a fuck who like it or don't like it. All right, every single woman on this planet Earth must be led by a man. All right, and that's just the way it is. Okay? And pray that, yeah, you see? You know, I ain't even gonna say it, but anyway. It says, one of the early pioneers who thought and wrote about a woman as a group is the Italian writer Christine de Pisan, who published a book about women's position in society as early as 1495. 1495, right? Not too far away from the early stages of the Renaissance, the rebirth of the Edomites. So let me see what else. I ain't really read all of this. I'm just going through. Let me see. The women's movement began to develop in North America mainly because women there were allowed to go to school earlier than in Europe. The first wave of feminist activism, women were the first allowed to go to university in the early 20th century, having both a career and a family. Second wave of feminism aimed to achieve women's liberation, women's freedom. Freedom from what? All right, freedom from what? Freedom from your husband. That's exactly what the fuck it is. You know, that all led to corruption. It led to adultery. It led to rebelliousness. That's why scripture says, surely you're turning things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay. All right, this ain't just happening in Babylon. This is why Babylon is going to be the first. It's going to be the only land that's going to be burnt up and never inhabited again. Other places are going to get touched, but Babylon is never going to be inhabited again. It's going to be an example, just like Sodom, Gomorrah, and the neighboring cities, on how the godly who shall come after shall not supposed to be living. But Babylon did it. Part of that is that, you know, LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ movement. Okay? Which is another part of that wine and that bullshit. It says the third wave of feminism can be characterized by an increased awareness of overlapping categories such as race, class, gender, sexual orientation, blah, 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 whatever. I think I'm going to end it there. Let me see something. It's a bunch of bullshit, bro. That's all it is. It's a bunch of bullshit. But hey, when the society collapses, everybody's gonna fall right back in place, man. That's it. So let me get the last few precepts that I got, and this is the main reason why a lot of these nations, among many other, but that's why they hate the whore. You know, monetary reasons. Esau fucked up their economies. You know, putting them on that fake Federal Reserve note. You know, making it the world's reserve currency. You know, and then what we see going on now. This is just among many other reasons, man. You know? But man is jealous over his woman nonetheless. And these nations, you better believe that they looking like, man, this bitch acting like that because of the so-called white man. You better believe that. You know, you best to believe that they, in their minds, they're like, man, this bitch acting like that because of the so-called white man. I'm talking about these other nations. Because we feel the same way. We saying, yo, this bitch only doing that because she could call 911. And that's a fact. If there was no 911 right now, all right, overnight, watch how these bitches get in order, bros. Watch. And this is going to happen during the time of Jacob's trouble. So let me get my last few precepts and I'm going to wrap this up. You know, Spirit was on me to, like, I thought about this, I mean, a while back, but I didn't really think of to make a, do a lesson on it, but the Spirit hit me a day or two ago and I was like, all right, let me do something real quick on it. But, let me get what I got right here. And this is pertaining to that woman that got locked up in Dubai. And it tells you about the woman. It says, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. And that's the BW. She loud. And y'all know she loud, bro. Everywhere you fucking go, she's loud. She just gotta be seen. Gotta be heard. Gotta be fucking, come on, bro. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, bro. Every time you turn and look, she got twerk. She loud, ratchet. And I fucking hate those type of women, bro. I hate them. I hate them with a perfect hatred. You know? Disgusting. Disease. I don't want no parts to do with that shit. Physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, I don't want no motherfucking parts to do with that, bro. Leave me the fuck alone. You know? It's a damn shame. The only thing they could get, the only thing they could wait, hope for is a damn nuke. Because when shit hit the fan, a lot of them same disgruntled ass women out there, hey, there's gonna be a spiritual block on you from getting with a man of the Lord when that time comes, all right? When shit hit the fan, or even before shit hit the fan, however it's gonna play out, there's gonna be a spiritual block that you just ain't gonna be able to get with a man of the Lord for Isaiah 4:1 purposes, or for Isaiah 32 purposes, and just being hidden from the scourges and the destruction. There's gonna be a spiritual block. Somehow, somewhere, you're just not gonna be able to find a man of the Lord. He gonna be nowhere to be found. But for the women that's gonna get with a man of the Lord, there's gonna be an opening. Somehow, somewhere, the Lord's gonna make an opening. When that time comes, we gonna know. I'll leave it at that. So anyway, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in the house. All right, it said, because when you read above, and behold, they met him a woman with the tie of an harlot and subtle of heart. Where's she at? Because nowadays, they would say, oh, she just living her best life. This is normal. No, it's not. Where the hell she at, man? She fucking trying to hide. Hold on. This is an attire of an harlot. What is she wearing? Next to nothing. Okay? She's wearing next to nothing. She's wearing nothing. All right? Only her husband is supposed to be seeing that. That's how fucked up the society is. Man, listen, bro. Good for her ass. Good for her. Good for her. You go see women. You see, all these women think they can be passport women. You can't run all that shit you run over here in Babylon abroad. You can't do that. Sure, you're not equal to a man, because a man could go travel, be a passport bro, and he don't gotta go through this shit because he's a man. So he's already ahead of the game by nature. But you, these women out here, they fucking lost in the sauce, bro. This is an attire of an harlot. Look at her. Scripture tell you about she should be known, harlot gonna be known in her eyelids and all that. Look at her on the left. She looked promiscuous. But anyway, she is loud and stubborn. So more likely she initiated that loudness, and the dude was like, oh, who the fuck you think you are? It says her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets. Whoa, does that ring a bell? She for the streets. Now in the streets. She's for the streets. Now in the streets, she's for the streets. See, the shit that the slang and the lingo and the ebonics that Jake talk, it comes from the scriptures. When we say she's for the streets, the scriptures say that. Now in the streets. Now she's without, now in the streets. And lieth in wait on every corner. And that's these women, she's for the streets. All right? The wicked women of our nations. That's it, bro. I mean, I'm not saying it, the scripture's saying it. So let me get a few more and then I'm going to end it. This is Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. And that's what hath happened in this world, in this society. And who did the Lord use to do this? Overall, the Edomites. All right, Esau, Edom. Okay, He allowed it to where us, the Israelites, are at the bottom. All right, and the heathens are at the top. The women are at the top. But all that's coming to a change real soon, bros. And that's what we saying. That's what we be talking about. So hey, patience is everything. Patience is key. These women out here, I don't even, bro. Man, listen, bro. I used to get real heated and mad, but like I don't even be fucking getting that heated and mad no more, because I understand, like, yo, this shit just gotta happen this way. Of course I still get heated and mad at times, but like as much as I used to, listen, man, I ain't wasting all my fucking energy on the 2/3, male or female. I ain't wasting my energy on them. I'm gonna apply that energy and channel it elsewhere, something more productive, but scriptures do say, surely oppression make a wise man mad, and through much knowledge come much grief, and there's a balance to it. There's a perfect balance. You just gotta find your balance. Like I wouldn't watch that video of her jet skiing and shaking her ass and her booty and her tits on the jet ski in Dubai. I'm not gonna get mad. What the fuck I'm getting mad for? I don't fuck her. And if you don't like my language, you already know the deal. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be here. All right? But I'm not gonna get mad over that. Oh, the BW being a BW. Okay, what's new? Whatever, man. So the Lord created a new thing, and a woman shall compass a man. And that's what's happening. These women compass men. You got women judges. Here it is, you an Israelite man, and you may get caught up in some shit or may not get caught up in some shit. Or you may be falsely caught up in something. But then you got to go to court, the jury. You got women up in the jury. You may be an all-women jury, but they don't really do that. They try to keep it equal and balanced, so to speak. Gender equality, race equality, whatever equality, age equality, and all that. So it may not be the jury. You may have a woman up in there. You definitely gonna have women up in there. And then the judge is a damn woman. Court officer is a woman. And you under the rule and bondage and subjection of a woman. That is fucked up. That's a damn nightmare. You get pulled over by female cops. God forbid, most high forbid, she just got out of a breakup on her period. Bro, you done. That's why you gotta send up them prayers. You see them, you see 5-0 behind you, send up them prayers. That little one, they ain't riding behind you for you. And that's just the situation we in. Male or female cop, but I'm speaking on females, but it says a woman shall compass a man, and that's what has happened. This is Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, Yasharala, the men of Israel, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. Who are the children? These heathens. Esau. All right, because really, we're older than him. But by birth, as it came out, Jacob and Esau came out first. But by birthright, we over them. All right, we over them. We came before them. All right, when you go deep, we came before them. So these heathens, starting with Esau, they are oppressors. They rule over us. They oppress us. And women rule over them. All right, women rule over them. Now, if our women rule over us, right, as a nation of men, how much more do these other women look at us? These other women look at us, of these other nations. How much more of them? Remember, if our own women don't respect us, how the hell they gonna respect us? They're like, they look at us worse, like dirt shit. But that's all right, because our time is coming. Us being at the bottom, it ain't gonna be for too long, brethren. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be at the top real soon. And that's gonna be through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. So I ain't tripping. All right, we ain't tripping. So it says, "O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, go off, error, destroyed." Right? It says, "And destroy the way of thy path," which is these false leaders. All right, these false leaders. Okay, if it's not the shepherds set up by Yahweh Shem Yahweh, then they are false leaders, and they cause you to err because they're in Esau's pockets. All right, so I think I covered it. What I wanted to cover through the spirit. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Prime example of taking your ratchetness into another country that don't allow ratchetness, and example why these nations is gonna hate, these Edomites, because they don't allow this bullshit to go on in their country. This is and the top of that is the BW, bro. It could have been any other woman under the sun, but it just had to be the BW. But anyway, man, I hope and pray to Yahweh Shem Yahweh B'Shem Rekakwadash that this was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, and the message went across, But I'll say this: for you women out there that have repented and repent daily, keep doing what you're doing. All right, because you're gonna be thankful like all heaven that you got yourself together and are getting yourself together before shit crunched, before society crunched and crumbled. Trust, believe that. Wisdom and knowledge can be the stability at that time. And her ass right here, for the women out here, the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions and all these other dots, they're done, bro. Fuck them. All right, lift not up a prayer nor a cry for these people. To hell with them. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Rekakwadash. Shalom to the elect and the Bible ball. Shalom.